Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I'm going to be streaming The Lord of the Rings online. I'm going to be doing some Moria instances on my Beorning on Anor. And that will start in about 10 minutes. I'm having trouble once again with YouTube getting the stream actually set up. It's not really wanting to cooperate here, but I feel like my mic is far away. Oh, it might disconnect here. There we go. For some reason my wire wouldn't pull. That was probably super noisy for you all. But anyway, I'm going to be doing Moria instances here on my Beorning, and I feel like I just totally messed up my entire setup doing that. But anyway, one thing I want to talk about during this stream after that rough start is the War of the Three Peaks with that announcement today from Cordovan, who is the community manager for LOTRO. He does the Court of the Ring streams, and I don't watch those. I'm not really much of a watcher, even though I make videos. But just from the info I found, I think somebody, I don't remember the name, they made just like a summary of the information from that stream on the LOTRO forums. But anyway, I'll have like a proper video tomorrow, but I just thought the stream would be a good opportunity to talk about it because it's a recent announcement. And I actually think that Moria might be somewhat relevant to the War of the Three Peaks. So as you all probably know, I'm not too familiar with the Lord of the Rings lore. So my idea of the Three Peaks, which I don't think is correct, but my idea before I tried to find more information was Misty Mountains and like Moria, Gundabad, and Mithrin. That those were like the three peaks. Even Erebor, thinking more specifically like Misty Mountains, Mithrin, and Erebor, the Lonely Mountain, Grey Mountains, and Misty Mountains. Those three mountains as like the three peaks is what I thought of it as, and it kind of made sense because those were the areas the game is going outside of Mordor and the Imlad Morgul, Minas Morgul area, where they so after Mordor, they randomly went to northern Mirkwood, and then after that they did Ered Mithrin, Vales of Anduin, and all that. And then we went back to Mordor and Minas Morgul and even did the Second Age stuff in Mordor Besieged. But anyway, now they're going back with Wells of Langflood up here and towards Gundabad. I think that's the ultimate place that LOTRO's headed in probably next year as like a regular expansion. But that was kind of my idea going into this before I actually looked up a little bit of information to find out if that was even remotely correct, because I had no idea. But that's just what I was thinking: Erebor, Ered Mithrin, and Misty Mountains as far as like the three peaks. But I think from what I have found, because there's actually not too much information on that online, it seems like, about the specifically the three peaks. So I don't know how much significance there is in the Lord of the Rings with that. Go ahead and finish this, and I think I can just use my map home to Anazar Meckham. But I will try to share this with you all. There we go. Okay, that looks like it is set up correctly, but from what I found on, was this the Lord of the Rings wiki? And where was it? The Three Peaks were part of Khazad-dûm, which is Moria. There's the Redhorn, Silverteen, and Cloudy Head. Cloudy Head is one I'm not familiar with, but it sounds like the Three Peaks are actually in Moria. There's Silverteen Lodes, so there's probably a peak there. Redhorn Lodes, so there's a peak there. And then whatever the other one said, Cloudy Head, I think. Let's see. Yeah, Cloudy Head. And I don't remember Fan Weedhole. I really... Lord of the Rings has so many names like that. I have no idea how they're supposed to be pronounced. But anyway, that's what it looks like with that. Cloudy Head is not in the game as far as I know. Like what would be that peak. So, accidentally never turned the LOTRO display back on, so hopefully y'all can see it like normal. But anyway, Silverteen loads, that peak. Redhorn loads, not loads, but That's where I guess the peak in Misty Mountains is. So the War of the Three Peaks, to actually get back to that, sounds like to me that it's kind of hard to tell on this map. Maybe, yeah, Eriador does not give a better view of that. But it sounds like there are 3 peaks around Moria, or within Moria. One of them Silvertine and Redhorn, and then the other one, Cloudy Head. And it's the war of those. So it sounds to me like we go back to Moria. I feel like I've been talking about this for like 10 minutes and not actually going anywhere. But kind of my whole point is actually doing Moria content on this character seems like it's a little bit relevant, at least for me to talk about my thoughts with the expansion, so it kind of worked out that way. So I guess the very first thing is it's a mini expansion, and I'm not too sure on that. So I think the idea from Standing Stone Games viewpoint is the mini expansion is a little bit more than a regular quest pack, so they're taking that opportunity to basically treat it as an expansion but slightly cheaper. It sounds like you won't be able to buy it for LOTRO points on release. Hopefully that is incorrect, because that's one thing. I think with a mini expansion, to kind of balance out you having to pay for it, you should at least be able to use LOTRO points is one thing I think with that. So I'm not too sure on that. That doesn't sound too good. And I just made the video, the improvements I think LOTRO needs video. And in that one, I talked about the monetization with LOTRO, and this is definitely not helping with that, not improving things. But if we haven't gotten all the information first, so if there is more that actually makes it seem worthy of a mini expansion title, especially not without like raising the level cap or anything, I just think it's kind of crazy with how little information we know. But this was also like a super early announcement just from Cordovan's stream again. It wasn't like an official announcement where they have the update 28 like beta. They don't have the patch notes or anything like that. I'm not even sure if they do developer diaries anymore, but there's nothing like that actually going about what is exactly going to be covered with the mini expansion. So there's still a lot unknown. And I consider that a good thing if the known actually makes it seem worth the mini expansion price. Fortunately, $20 isn't much though, if you think about it in terms of how much content you would get for $20. But the kind of problem is the VIPs pay the subscription, which goes towards content like that, like quest packs. And all the quest packs, if this basically ends up being like a quest pack, like update 23 had a lot of content and it was just a quest pack. It had 2 zones and it had a raid and I think some instances with it. That was the Grey Mountains update. So that one had like a lot of content with it and it was called a quest pack, even though I actually consider that almost mini expansion, probably not quite full mini expansion. That one even had a level cap increase to, what was it, 120? Because it was 115 before that with Aaron, Laskalin, and Northern Mirkwood, and Dale and Erebor. And then that I was about to say that expansion, but that quest pack, which again had a lot of content with it, had Iron Hills, which got you about to 117, and then the Grey Mountain Zone, Arid Mithrin, that took you the rest of the way to 120, and just a lot of content with it, again, a raid. There weren't too many new systems, I don't think, besides just a little bit of polishing with their raid and instance and reward systems, as far as what I remember with that update. But kind of, yeah, what I'm going on about again is just that it, to me right now, what is going to be update 28, the War of the Three Peaks, doesn't quite sound like it's worth the mini expansion tag. But again, there's just a lot unknown. And kind of comparing it, I guess, to the update 23, the Grey Mountains update. I don't even remember what that update was called, but the one that had Arid Mithrin and the Grey Mountains. Compared to that, it sounds about the same without actually a level cap increase and maybe only 1 zone. I'm not really familiar with what Cordovan showed as far as like zones and actual content goes. And this is a completely random thing, but the trailer was a bit odd to me. So I watched it the first time and it made absolutely no sense, the trailer. It seemed funky, I think was the word I used to describe it, but I'm not even sure that that's the right word. But after I watched it with audio, it made a little bit more sense, but there was some unsynchronized, desynchronized. I don't know the exact word for that, but where the cuts in the trailer were, it seemed like were synced with the audio a bit, especially towards the end of the trailer, but then they were off sync with that. So it just made it seem like the trailer was really odd to me. And it gave a little bit of preview of things that were going on, but it didn't really show me that much to get me excited for the update. It was kind of a boring trailer to me as far as what it showed. But yeah, I have no idea about the zone. I kind of would have thought the lead up to Gundabad would have continued to Elderslade area. I don't know if Elderslade would be like considered a part of Gundabad, but that's where I thought it would be heading, kind of in between Arid Mithrin and Wells of Langflood, a little bit towards Gundabad there, but I'm really not entirely sure. Again, reading about the Three Peaks on the Lord of the Rings wiki, yeah, it sounds like that the Three Peaks is Moria. So that's the part I'm a little bit confused about, but it just doesn't make too much sense that it would be Elderslade if the War of the Three Peaks is about Moria and actually like located around Misty Mountains, Moria, that area. But I have no idea if the War of the Three Peaks is like relevant to that exact area. Anyway, I should probably... Yeah, it looks like we are running a few minutes late with getting up for Scumfill here. But yeah, I hope that made a little bit sense with my thoughts on what's going to be going on with the War of the Three Peaks. Again, I have no idea, like, lore-wise. That's why I'm a little bit confused here with exactly where it is. And we'll have more information later, but that's just kind of running through what I was thinking about. I didn't really even plan to go talking about that. I was planning to talk more about the features and mainly the price there at the beginning. But I also thought we'd be getting to actually doing Scumfill and getting completely set up with that before I had a chance to go on that long. And one thing I cannot tell is if the stream is actually playing correctly. I also have like no idea like lore-wise. Yeah. Okay, so it's playing correctly. Y'all probably just heard me echoing. But I need to turn my volume up so I can actually hear the in-game audio a little bit. But I'll actually be switching it to Discord in a minute. Oh, just got a Scumfill quest. I think these are dailies, but I don't know why I just got one for a Scumfill. Maybe because I'm level 58, but... yeah, I think we are just waiting on invites and people to actually get in, I guess. Seems like there's a good amount of people on. Looks like we're getting ready to go. So I'm going to switch the audio, at least my audio, to Discord, and as usual, you all hear the in-game audio, but not the Discord audio and all that. So I have to switch the LOTRO output and then switch what OBS captures to that. And then I'll go ahead and put my headphones on and connect to them. And last time I forgot to put push to talk on. So hopefully, I don't think I took that off, but I'll double check. Hello. Okay, yeah, I do not have push to talk on. Oops, I totally typed the wrong thing. Well, I thought there was something I needed to do, but actually don't think so. I'm actually set up here. Looks like I don't have anything as far as my trades to spend. Virtues look okay. I should get a ton of Virtue XP eventually with this Moria content. I'm not sure exactly when that will be going. So I probably actually want to rearrange these just so I can be sure I get the... Oh man. I get this one equipped. I want Will on the back because I don't want my stuff to automatically go there. So it sounds like we're waiting for the Runekeeper to switch to heal spec. I don't think they've healed before, so this will be interesting. I don't think that'll be like a bad thing. It'll just make the run more interesting to me, if anything, but... to get a hope token. Sounds like we're ready, so... So Scumfill, to talk a little bit about that, and then as things get going, I know I'm not really talking much here, but as things get going, I will talk a little bit maybe more about the War of the Three Peaks. But this instance is kind of interesting. Taking a lot of damage here and getting a lot of enemies, but this one is weird because you have to run it twice to actually do the full instance. So you do like the right wing and you'll get part of, I think, like a key or something like that you need, and then you can do the left wing, or even you could do it in reverse. I don't think it matters the order you do those, and then you can finally do the bottom wing, which is where like the final boss is and that. So it's a little bit weird in that it's also looking like it'll be a little bit tough. I kind of remember this being a tougher instance even when the legendary servers were getting here, and the content was a lot easier then. They have buffed enemies, which I think is a good thing. It was like extremely easy when the legendary servers got to this point. There's so many things to interrupt. I don't know what is important, so I just try to interrupt what I can. I have 2 interrupts, which is good on well, any class, but yeah, the Beorning's good too. I have Armor Crush, which is a 15-second cooldown. That one is not immediate, but the Vicious Claws is immediate. Oops, I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that. I was letting these Cave Claws aggro on the healer. That was not a good thing. So should we do left or right first? And then we run out and reset and do the right side. So yeah, it sounds like that is correct. I was just double checking because I haven't done this too many times. I thought that's the way it worked, but I wanted to confirm because the people I'm in a group with, they are much more familiar with these instances than I am. Because I didn't run these when they were released. I think a few people in this group at least have. I'm not sure how many of them. I feel like our damage is a little bit lower than it usually is. We do have one Runekeeper who's usually in our group that's not here. I think they've been healing. So this is, I don't know if it's a quest item. I'm not too familiar with the quests here. Oh, that Kirkrim was running away from me. Oh, they're taking a ton of damage. I was like just going about my business, trying to keep everything organized as far as the mobs going. But they're taking a lot of damage. I think it makes it interesting again, a little bit of challenge. But I didn't fully talk about this instance. So not only is it weird the way you have to do it to get the full run, but the enemies in it are kind of gross enemies. You got the Kurgram, and then you have the cave claws and the rod bog and all that gross stuff. You also have spiders and just a bunch of gross things in this instance. Even the name Scumfill makes it sound like a gross place, which it is, I think. So sounds like we'll have our second Runekeeper. I guess we can continue here. Well, I'm totally distracted by the gameplay here. I don't know, this instance is just making me concentrate a little bit. In the Ken Discord chat, they're talking a bit about War of the Three Peaks again. I actually forgot about the pig mount, boar mount. That's what it is. So that's pretty crazy. I don't know if that's going to be like a war steed type mount. I've heard some people call it a war pig. The boar mount. Or if it's just like a regular fast moving mount. So maybe that's even a feature that they'd consider to make it worth the mini expansion. I'm going to make a whole video. I know my kind of scatter thoughts with the stream and get distracted by gameplay and then get talking about something totally else. Like, I still haven't even finished. I wanted to talk a bit about Scumfill. So I talked about the enemies here, how they're gross and all that, but this place is actually really good for deeds. It is. There are just so many Slayer deeds that you can get here, and that's kind of true with all the Moria instances, but I feel like this one really helps with like Grodbog, and there's Kurgram Slayer, but that's specifically Scumfill actually. But yeah, just a lot of deed progress. I think even the spiders, but this one's like Deep Claw and Moria, and then you also have Cave Claws and Deep Claws and Scumfill, so like double progress there. It's just pretty good. Sounds like when the Runekeeper tried to go this way, all these Grodbog decided to aggro along. I think I used my Force Stomp, I don't think it hit everything, might have been a little too far away. I think our healer already switched to DPS back. Wow. That's a bit unfortunate. If I was ready, I would have actually used my cooldowns there and been a good tank. I think I can jump here safely. So, oops. Yeah, this is where the spider, Globsnaga spider. I kind of forgot they were Globsnaga spiders and not regular spiders, so that's another thing. I think they count double for Globsnaga and spiders, if I remember correctly. I guess we'll see later. I use my corruption removal kind of in rotation, and it's just a happy coincidence when it removes a corruption. There are a lot of those in Moria, so it happens somewhat frequently. But I don't ever actually pay attention to what the enemy corruptions are. There's another one. I have aggro on this one already. Plus the Beorning's corruption removal, it has no animation, first of all, but it's also usable range, so it's pretty crazy with that. Alright, so this looks like it's just regular mobs, just a bunch of deep claws. Oops. I was going to actually try to pull more anyway, but then ooh, that might actually have not been great, but I got knocked back towards them anyway. I forgot these guys summon a bunch of the little cave claws. Should probably use, it seems like the healers are taking a lot of damage here. Should probably actually use sacrifice, and I can keep up my cooldowns and stay alive myself a little bit better with that. And I could actually tank the mobs and get aggro on them. I think there's even one in the back probably, yeah, not targeting me. I think these mobs, well, if I can get my words right, not call them mobs, but the mobs here create kind of a little bit of fun gameplay here. I don't think these type of mobs are the most interesting to kill, like fun. They're not what I think like super fun mobs to kill. I don't know, that one's a bit hard to explain, but there are just certain types of mobs that are super fun to kill. I think trolls are one of them. I guess it's because trolls are like super big. It's fun to just go around killing them. And I am not doing a good job with aggro with all these little things. I should be doing good on a Beorning, getting good AoE aggro, but I am just doing a bad job at that. But anyway, with all these mobs coming out, I think it's actually pretty fun here. And that's one thing, just the Moria instances in general I think are very fun. Something I want to eventually make a whole video topic about, kind of why they're so fun. I think I actually did the last stream on this Beorning, I did like class talk and instance talk, but what I ended up talking about the whole time was how classes fit into instances and group content and that sort of stuff. I didn't actually talk about the Moria instances too much. I said like they're fun and all that, but it's something I also have to just think about a little bit. But one reason I know they're fun is they actually don't scale. That contributes to them being fun, and I think they're a little bit special in a way because of that. Like, I like Great Barrow, Numinos, Fornos, those instances, those older ones at scale that were in Shadows of Angmar, but I also like oh, what was I going on about? Getting distracted by gameplay again. Okay, I have a force taunt on all three of them, but this one's deciding to ignore that. Oh, I guess he didn't get hit by the force taunt, never mind. I even thought I got a second taunt. Yeah. There we go, now he's getting taunted. I don't know what the issue is, maybe my taunts just aren't hitting. I think my taunts are getting deflected a bit. Yeah. I definitely like this difficulty. It just means as far as the stream goes, I have to focus a little bit more, and that's been the case with some of the things I've done. It's something that used to happen, and I guess I don't know if I was just more used to it, but in general with streams, especially ones where I'm like going solo and just questing and something like that, I feel the need to talk and kind of fill it in. Have a fun stream basically. But with something like this, I just sometimes have to stop talking and think a little bit about what I'm doing. Oh, I wonder if she used her roar by accident. Oh, yeah, I've been removing my stuff, not even paying attention. Apparently, one of the diseases, I guess, is a powertrain, so I don't even have to worry about that. Acid mitigation. Oh yeah, we have to loot for a good old Medallion of Moria. I probably have so many of those now. 133. Eventually I'll hopefully find something for them. It's just like I've thought about using them just for cosmetics. There I go with the hiccups. I haven't found any cosmetics I'm like super interested in as far as those go. And the gear, like the actual stats on it, usually the crafted gear is better now. So I think so. So here we got, here's a shield item. So we have Brum Breath. This is one of those gross, like giant grot bogs. But what I was talking about, I think with the stream, and here I go getting distracted again, talking about getting distracted, but I think during like when we were doing Shadows of Angmar content, like Rift of Ner'zgoshu, some things like that probably happen more often. I don't know if I really thought the same though so long ago. It's like, since I took basically 14 months or so break between 14-month period when I wasn't really streaming, or wasn't streaming at all, would be a better way to put it. So just getting back with the flow with that. And I know also since I have started streaming and, well, making videos again, I've been doing it every day. There's been one day I didn't stream, but I had a regular video that day anyway. And that was after doing like a 9.5 hour stream. Yeah, I was about to say. they said all gather up on the shield. I was like, wait a minute, I probably shouldn't. I'm the tank here. And I should probably get, well, I didn't even get to contribute in that fellowship maneuver. So that little ground bug just wasn't attacking me. I was like, I think I used even a couple force taunts. Yeah, that other Beorning used a force taunt, which didn't help, and then my force taunt didn't even work, but I got aggro back. This fight's going okay so far, though. I guess, I don't know if that other Beorning knows they're using a force taunt. I don't know if you know, but you're using a force taunt. Torvina. Yeah, it's probably the roar. Oops, I could have interrupted that. This fight's kind of busy. Oh my, morale's going way down. Here I am concentrating on the skills I'm using, and then I see like my morale's halfway down. So, I think this fight is about to be done. It's a good thing I got my level 58 gear though. This one's pretty tough. We're a little bit low level. And I think not everybody's geared as like well I am. I don't think everybody would have like their 58 crafted gear, which as far as I can tell is the best. So just like looking at random people's gear, being nosy, it doesn't quite look like that. Which is okay. It, I think, makes the content more challenging, more interesting, but I'm also somebody who would be like, if I can get better gear, I might as well get it. Actually, I'm going to roll on that. Usually people just like totally pass. Okay, so make sure we get that. And then this is kind of the chest. Our chest is a corpse of Grim Reaver, and he has all of our loot, medallions of Moria. So I think from here we leave the instance and come back. Oops, forgot the burglar was down there. I guess I'd let one of the runekeepers with the RESD, but I already like left the instance. So this bracelet, I didn't get much of a chance to look at it, but I guess the hunter could have used that, could have let her have it, but I was thinking, yeah, it's an upgrade over my second one. Oh. Okay. Somebody asked if we were doing the spider, and I was like, I thought we had a reset, but I already left. Do I need to go back in? Okay. Next time we can go around the whole room if you all want. So I need to save those. I think they're talking about we could have just killed the rest of the mobs there and gotten the deeds, which is something I would have wanted to do, but I just went ahead and like automatically left. Yeah, there are lots of good deeds in that one. Trying to find somebody. I was trying to find some NPC and I don't even know what, but I have the subscriber town services, so I don't even need that. I can use my forge, reforge. I don't know if this is one I have equipped. I think it is just the one I don't have equipped. The one I have equipped is still waiting to get level 30. It was fun. So this one we aren't entering, that's just to reset Scumfill. I can go back to the legendary Beorning trader and see what they have. But one thing I wanted to talk about with the War of the Three Peaks and instances, another thing that works out because I'm doing group content here in Moria, is I think it's only going to have a raid. I'm not sure if there's an instance cluster to go with it, so that's also a little bit odd for a mini expansion. I would think a mini expansion would have a whole new instance cluster. Okay. So do you all want to clear out everything on this first floor? Okay. Probably need to kill a lot of mobs for the quests anyway. I'm not sure what all the quests have you do. I'm trying to see, I guess I could press H when a mob comes up. There we go. So that'll, just so I can see what all I'm getting here. So it looks like fallen hero, so, oh, no. I wasn't paying attention to my health, so thank you. I've now used my cooldowns. Somebody mentioned my health was low, and I was like, I had no idea I was reading this Grodbog Hive Defender thing. I think these mobs, they not only hit hard, but... Well, I guess that'd be with me, they just hit hard. There are quite a few of them, I guess. But I really have no idea. I was just like pressing the usual buttons I do with gameplay while reading what all the deeds basically that mob counted for. So here's one, Hive Mind. I think that's to defeat everybody on the right wing, the one we're doing. Leaders of the Hive, that's the same thing. Defeat the exact same mobs as Hive Mind. Handfuls of Grodbog Innards, so that sounds like a quest, and then Grodbog Slayer and another Grodbog Slayer basically. The Fallen Heroes, I guess that's just random drops. I'm not sure if those would be things you pick up. There was another quest or a deed or something where you had to pick 4 things up, and at least I have only picked up 2. Ooh. That sounds fun. Sounds like we could do Helagrod next week on this group, and that's one thing. So the legendary servers have of course gone to Helm's Deep, which is not the most fun to me. I mean, you'll have probably seen the streams. I'm not, at least lately, the past couple ones on my Runekeeper, just not having fun with the quest there. For me, the crafted gear was still better than at least the Beorning set. So, yeah, just another thing to look for. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Oh, all these little grod bugs. I don't know if everybody's just going slow there or what was happening, but I mean, the Moria set's probably fine, at least with the heavy armor. I like the crafted set better. I still need to look at the jewelry. I think I mentioned that a couple times now. Oh. I kind of didn't even think about that, but the instances themselves actually drop some good jewelry. Yeah, I think I'm also using a couple drop jewelry. There are just so many mobs. I'm going to use my big force taunt there. Make sure everything's attacking me. The Runekeeper, the healer, is still taking damage from something. I like taunted everything and then I'm using another AoE taunt, and could just be like splash damage, AoE damage, or frontal AoE that these mobs do, a cleave, or just something like that. Or any like sort of effect they target somebody else, but it's kind of crazy. So one thing I've actually noticed is I haven't done many of the Minas Morgul instances, haven't done the group version or anything like that, but some parts of them actually remind me a little bit of this one, specifically Scumfill. I guess because Scumfill's a little bit messy and that's kind of... But the... Like the... Oh, what was that one? Can't even think of the name of it. The Filth Well, actually. And then even the Barrows. The Barrows is like completely different than this environment, but it still reminded me of a little bit of it, I think, in a good way. Okay, so I don't know which one exactly we're going for first. Of course, is the tank. I want to have aggro of all four of them. Wow. I don't know, maybe I was just taking a ton of damage there, but I was not paying attention to my health too much. I just went down super quick. I wonder if they might be able to get it still. It could be a little bit tough. Should I try to run back? So, yeah, I just took a lot of damage there. I wasn't ready for that. I guess I should have been. We were fighting like 4 bosses essentially. It was one big fight. I don't know if I can get back into the room. Looks like I can. I don't know. It looks like our healer's still up, so sacrifice going, and I'm going to get my force taunts in a second here, and then so I think when they all come up, they seem to do quite a bit of damage. They also do inductions, but wow, I'm just taking a lot of damage here. I'll have to use a potion at some point, probably just focus on my defenses here. Of course, being in bear form, I get better defenses. Should probably try to stick to it. There's one over there. Should have forced taunt. Oh, it looks like we pulled an ad. Hopefully it's not a whole group and just that one. Yeah, these fights are pretty crazy though. These particular enemies are annoying because they're constantly burrowing. So I thought maybe the burglar, it looked like trying to keep that mob riddled, but I'm not entirely sure. I really don't want the bosses resetting, so I'm going to probably take them away a little. That's one thing I worry about, just going out that door there, that the bosses could reset, especially at this point. I don't want that to happen. I don't really know in the Moria ones if it would reset the whole fight. Sparrowed underground. They're annoying like that. Somebody was wondering where the last Grodbog thing went. There we go, I got some Virtue XP. Luining Brombreth's Bane. For some reason I thought Brombreth was the one on the left wing that we killed. I think we still have the boss on this wing. There's like one, I don't really know mini boss fight is fair to call it, but one lead up boss fight that leads up to the final boss of the wing. I think, maybe not with this one, I don't remember exactly, of course. That necklace is not ideal. Oops, I accidentally rolled on the captain's sword again. I would offer that sword to you, Jimmy, but I'm not sure if you'd use it. So somebody in my group is leveling a captain, and he's going to maybe try to skip Moria, which means skipping like legendary items too. And I have a captain alt that would eventually be able to use that, but I accidentally rolled on it in the first place. So it's just like clicking roll. There are. Well, that's nice. So he said so about skipping the legendary items on a captain, he would be using like a two-handed weapon, but there are crafted ones. It turns out, I think for the most part they got rid of two-handers is what I thought after Moria. Grim Reaver. Probably. Yeah, it sounds like people don't really remember the fight. I don't in particular either. So don't really know what to expect from this fight. What we're fighting, the big Grodbog on the left wing. Oops, not even in bear form. Oh, we got a bunch of buffs. Power charge, okay. Oh yeah, I think it even said right there he gets power from his enemies. So this one has a bunch of little cave claws. Just double check that I have aggro here. Oh, people taking a ton of damage here, like the healer. Better get sacrifice on them. Oh, I was going to try to get my big force stomp, but then I got stunned. So now just, oh no, our healer died. That is not good. I don't know that I'll be able to survive this. Some of the easier ones, it was okay for a little bit. But wow. I'm actually going to save Mending Verse until I need it, try to get the most use out of my heals. It's actually also the idea of using it just to get it, just to efficiently use its cooldown. But if I don't need it like at all right now, then okay with it. If that Beorning force taunts off me, that's actually a little bit of a break. Here I am getting stuck in landscape stuff. Oh, I could heal. Make sure I keep the burglar healed up. It's actually, I don't know why I just thought of that after all this time. They're Beorning a better force taunt. Okay, I'm going to use a potion for my cooldowns there. Could probably use counter. This time I'll heal myself. He threw up a bunch of debuffs on me, but they're all gone now. Now I'm stunned. That could have been scary if it was a really long-lasting stun, but I'm going to use this thing. And our burglar died, who is probably a good chunk of our DPS, and now I have all these wounds. Seems like they're slowing me, maybe decreased armor and even incoming damage. Get all these little cave claws killed there. They're annoying. I don't know how much damage they're doing to me, but I thought did the Beorning die? I guess so. I thought they were still up. Surprised I'm actually surviving this. Well, you'll probably see I'm taking a ton of damage just in general in this instance. But it looks like I am surviving decently. Oh, the Beorning's back. The Runekeeper's coming back, so we'll have 2 people. I guess they could have all retreated and come back, but my force taunts. Oh, stunned. So I think it sounds like the other people are going to be running back. Again, I'm concentrating, trying to stay alive here and keep the fight going. Using all my good Beorning tanking, whatever they're called, abilities, I guess. That's not the word I was thinking, but this is one reason I like the Beorning tank. They're a little bit slow, but a little bit slow, like soloing a Fellowship boss and Nemesis like this. As far as when the people in my group haven't been here, of course they're running back now, but when they died before they discovered that, but even though it's a bit slow, it's, as far as like, what am I trying to say? As far as like surviving it, I'm able to survive it, so it's pretty nice. Since everybody's coming up, just do the force taunt to be extra safe there. Wow, he's like taking a ton of damage now that everybody's here. I think also the cave claws seem to spawn when he takes damage. Actually, I thought he just did like an animation when he usually knocks us all back. I don't know if it's avoidable or if I just totally missed what it was. Probably should, I might use sacrifice on the burglar actually. No, our burglar is extra squishy. I was talking about gear a little bit earlier before this fight, and I think everybody's not up to date on their gear, and that's just one thing to look at. Ooh, Corpse Eater. That is a fitting title for this instance, I think. Not that you, like, really are a corpse eater or something like that. But I think it's just fitting. It's a gross thing thinking about being a corpse eater. Grim Reaver trophy. Small starlight crystal. I don't think that finger I want. Parry and resist. So this time we loot Brombereth. And this takes us back to the first floor, and we can just kill everything, and then we'll go to the spider wing, which is on the bottom, it sounds like. I think so. I don't. I think there were 2 more items I needed to loot. Like, we got a sword and a shield, I think. Was it a deed or one of the quests here? Okay. Sounds like that thing might be a deed. I don't see it so far in my quest log. Well, oh, I don't see it in my quest log. Could... So... Okay, don't know what's going on with this. Second fragment of suppression. Oh. I have that one. I might be set on this, but I thought there was something we picked up, like a sword and then a shield, like on the ground. Do you all know if that was for a quest or a deed? Okay. So I guess that's done. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with the quests and deeds. I'm just making sure I don't need to pay attention to anything like that, but... So this place, I came back here on my Orton at level 85 and it was still even a little bit tough with the damage then. Like pulling everything. It's entertaining as far as the gameplay goes for me. I've talked about this so many times in the stream, but it's keeping me occupied and even a little bit distracted from some of the things I've like planned to talk about. And it looks like my chat has totally not been working the whole time. I was just thinking about that. Usually sometimes on my streams there's not much chat, but it looks like it's totally not working. So Dub and stuff was here at one point. I don't know if you're still here. It looks like you were talking about the mini expansion. And at one point you said it'll have a 6-man, and you asked if I'm excited to pay $80. Oh wow. If you are still here, Dub and stuff, I'm sorry for missing that. I just was thinking about maybe my chat was for some reason not working, and looks like that is definitely the case. And I can't actually see when those messages were. Actually can't even see anything. I feel like I mentioned this at the very beginning that my whole stream like page is messed up, but I'm trying to do all this in combat. Fortunately everybody's surviving here, even though they had aggro. Yeah, I have no idea, so if you are still here, sorry for missing the chat. Usually I always try to reply right away. That's unfortunate. It looks like it actually says there were 5 messages. I only see 3. So I have no idea what's going on with that. If I'm actually seeing half the things, I could maybe pull up like totally new browser window and see, but I was just thinking, because some of my streams there's just not too much chat going on, which is okay. I can just talk and fill the stream, but this one seemed extra quiet. That's kind of when I got the idea of checking, and I always look over. But I probably should have checked that earlier, just to be safe. I wonder how much damage to the bleed we got. That does 621 and 420. So about 1,000, which that isn't too much damage, 1,000 every 3 seconds, but I guess it helps a little bit. Just compared to my tanking bleed, which does, what was it, about 800 average from tier 3. Oops, there's all these cape clots I'm always forgetting about. Doing a bad job with that, but hopefully if anybody has anything to say in the chat, I will actually see it now. As I mentioned, I always try to reply anything in chat. I read it, but that was not working, unfortunately. So that's why we're killing things slowly. So in fellowship chat, that's what our burglar is using. Oh, that's the first implement weapon that I've actually seen him paid attention to. I guess it's just like a weapon type, probably for cosmetic weapons. I just always wondered what that implement thing was. Like in the auction house, you could search for implement weapons, and as far as I knew, they never existed, so that's just nice to see. I probably have seen that and realized it, but I thought you got the key automatically. Does it not work that way? Oh. I probably have the same. I just thought it gave it to you automatically, but I don't know. Unlocking award, so I guess you do have to complete the quest. I have that quest to turn in as well. Guess we'll wait for him, but I just wanted to double check that before he had to leave. But while... Nope. But while we're doing that, I'm just going to clean up a little bit, I guess, with my inventory and that sort of stuff I can do on the go on mobile. Actually, one thing I want to do now that I have my display capture properly working is look at... I say I reference the LOTRO wiki a lot, but then I never actually like show it because on OBS I just haven't gotten like my display capture set up until recently, so this should be showing you all. I'll actually move that up above that so you don't have to deal with the blurred kin chat. Oh, it sounds like everybody's back, but this is just what I was going to look at. If that's the actual stats, that's pretty crazy, but it sounds like we're pulling stuff in. Okay, I think the stream is back to normal. And sorry, that was super quick and I wasn't ready to fight things yet. Oh, he got back super quick and then that was on the LOTRO wiki. Now ready to fight the Globsnaga spiders, and it looks like they do count for spiders and Globsnaga. Oh, sounds like we're gonna do like a 7-minute, or we usually do an AFK about an hour through our runs. So we're doing a 7-minute break. Usually the breaks are about 5 to 10 minutes, but tend on an even time. So now I can actually look at the LOTRO wiki and get that all back up for y'all. Yep, and I can actually just do that now, so it works. Anyway, the ring, this is very bright. It's like super bright screen, bright white. I don't like that. I have like on my regular web browser, I didn't add on what are those things called on Chrome? Extensions. And it makes things dark, which is nice. But as far as actually looking at this stuff, it looks like the necklace could be okay. It has evade, probably not the best. It is a lot of morale. That'd be... No, it's not a lot of morale. It's rating as 900 morale, and the 400 thing was evade rating. It looks like a mixed bag, but the earring, usually that has really good stuff for DPS stats, so like the earring of combat would definitely, I think, be good, especially if I wanted to increase my damage even though I'm a tank. It still just has generally good stats. My earrings, they aren't too bad, but I might be able to squeeze more even tanky stats out of that. Oh, I should probably turn the display capture off. That probably looked all funky. Oh, we're doing the AFK break for like 5 more minutes. Sounds like the farmer's fair is going away in a few days, but I wonder, Thrang, if that's with the summer festival, how long that's lasting, because I kind of thought about trying to do that at some point on Louisden. Just haven't gotten around to it. It looks like I got a clash trait point. Oh, I guess for leveling up. I really don't know on this character. It's probably, I think I mentioned this, not worth like getting the fate or anything like that. Actually, fate, 200 fate, what would that give? It'll almost double my fate, but give me a chunk of critical rating. I don't know, that chunk of critical rating could be worth more than 1%. Probably not. I doubt like 600 crit rating. What would that provide? It's about 2.5 crit per fate, it looks like. So like 500 critical rating probably won't give me a full percent in crit, just thinking of solely that versus 1% crit from critical chance. But Fate also gives some other things like finesse if I need a tiny bit of that. It only gives half a finesse, but I do need finesse. Wow, my finesse is horrible. I think finesse in general just wasn't common on gear at this point. It's more of a new stat. So the stat itself is honestly a little bit annoying, but it's a good stat to get so you're not like BP'd basically. Or I think it also affects resistance. So yeah, it reduces enemy resist and block, parry, evade. But otherwise Fate gives resistance, which I don't really care about, and in combat more origin, knowing combat power origin for Beorning. So the main thing I'd really, in the tactical mitigation, I'd get 400 tactical mitigation, which could be a tiny bit helpful, probably not extremely helpful, but it's just something to consider if I wanted the first point in that versus the critical chance, which I already put in the critical chance, so it's kind of, I'd have to respec to swap that, but yeah, just thinking in terms of this character's level 60 build, that's just something I guess I would have to think about. Probably swap it to the Fate I'm thinking right now, but I guess I'd also wait. Wait until I got all my gear settled. But anyway, I don't know how I got on that tangent. Oh yeah, that I had a trait point available. Let's see, I have Toma the Fox, so that requires Lore Master to use Fox Speech. I talked about this in the improvements LOTRO could use. If you could use cosmetic pets like this on the Lore Master while having like your Bog Guardian or Lynx or whatever combat pet out, it would be so much nicer. And I'd actually value stuff like this otherwise. Like Toma the Fox, I could have that out when I'm not actively questing or something. If I'm just like running around Bree. But otherwise, I always want like a pet out that can do something in combat. I feel like my mouth is clicking a lot. I don't know why. I know in general it does, but it just sounds like it is right now. Otherwise, I have a bunch of LI titles. I think my legendary items are pretty set up. I want to try to get a first stage one, but we have to run like Turtle, and I think Darnarbigud might drop that stuff. I'm not entirely familiar or sure if it does, but yeah, I could. I don't know if the... Okay, so to barter for whatever it's called, the barter your... I don't know, turtle tokens, bright token of Nimrodel, something like that. Something token Nimrodel, or medallion of Nimrodel, and for some reason I think it has bright in the name, but anyway, that item you can barter 6 for a level 60 first stage, and I think you get like one of those per turtle run, if I remember correctly. No, I think turtle resets daily. But I don't know if those are bound to account. It doesn't look like it, or if they are, I don't have any. And I don't know, like on another character, maybe I could run Turtle, Philocal's actual raid name, and get those and just send them to this character. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting this character full like first stage setup if we're going to, as like a progression group, be doing this for 2.5 more months at least. Which I like that idea of doing this for that long. We have a lot of content we can run, some of the old scaling content if we get tired of the Moria stuff, and then go right back to the Moria stuff at that. After that, if we want to get back to it. Then after that, we'll go to Mirkwood, which is actually mostly scaling content. So that's a little bit less special, I guess. So, how are we supposed to get the Globs Naga and Spider D done if we do this? I didn't even know they respawned the first time like I ran through this. Yeah. Wait. Wait, are stray runes don't aggroing them? Well, it's kind of funny, I ran around the corner, it was just a runestone there. I think Chrome is taking up my CPU. Hopefully my chat will decide to work on my regular like stream dashboard here. Oops, I'm just pressing buttons, doing nothing. Wow, I did not realize they pulled that many spiders. Well, probably need to try to get my back to that, but at the same time, I guess I could tank the spider boss here. That way we just don't get thrown into the spiders which keep respawning. Tasty snack. Well, the fight looks a little bit settled now. I have all these little globsnaga spiders on me, but bosses was going down at least. Okay, should probably get out of that. Valid target. Oh, cat decided to jump up and I cannot see. That's the real boss, dealing with a cat trying to jump on your keyboard while streaming and while trying to tank this spider. Do you really think that little of us? Sounds like somebody didn't think we'd do too great with that. Maybe they just thought the content was tougher, but it is pretty difficult. I'm actually, yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised it went so smoothly as well. Not too exciting loot. Oh yeah, just I still need 22 for a quest anyway. I also need more Kurgrim for a quest. Fortunately, these are little spiders, so I thought it'd be safe to pull quite a few at once. They definitely went down quick, only being signatures again. They're not like the guards are the elite masters, so they're the little bit tougher ones. But I'm guessing the intentions with that quest is that you actually kill some of the spiders along the way to the boss, because the idea is they respawn. So you want to run to the boss real quick and kind of skip over the spiders, because they'll just keep respawning and you just stay there doing nothing basically. But also with the quest, it like encourages you to kill spiders, so you can do that after the boss even. I guess we can get... The guards are just going to be a little bit tougher. Take a bit more to kill them. Okay, should if my... Nope. That did not turn out to be that great of a pull, but... So apparently it sounds like minstrels used to just run around and do their play dead skill and res people through this to run through the spiders. It's kind of funny. Oh, we got some respawns. I was going around to pull a set, and then I think some respawns or something just came around from the back. I don't know, it seems like we were ended up getting a little bit split up with that, unfortunately. Oh, I'm running super fast from something. I don't know if somebody gave me a run speed boost. I don't know. Spiders can be pretty fun to kill. I was talking about that way early in their stream, but of the fun types of mobs to kill, like this isn't too bad here. So I should probably actually use my bear up res. Well, actually, oops. At least we have the other Beorning can res. I could have res somebody that could res first. I just like clicked somebody to quickly res before any spiders might respawn. They actually don't look like they're respawning. Maybe they only do that before the boss dies. Oops. My bad. I didn't realize the Runkeeper wasn't revived yet. So I can't open that to get out either. I'd be stuck. We could just leave instance, right click our portrait, but I guess we're going to go the running way out. Oh, wow. So that Kirkroom quest where I still have to get like 6 of whatever, it sounds like that can take a bunch of runs to do. Where do I need to go? Shadowed Refuge. I cannot do that in bear form. Wow. Forges I think is okay, but I'm still interested in running Turtle. I don't know if like right now we'd have enough, but to get the first stage. Just something to think about. We don't have to do it right now. But yeah, it's just something I talked about on the stream, but to tell Mike in there. Of course, y'all still can't tell what I'm exactly doing push to talk, which to me, from my perspective, is like super awkward. I don't know if y'all can, if it's like super awkward for the people watching the stream. I'm really paranoid about the stream not working. I know YouTube, Chrome, when I have YouTube up, it likes to eat my CPU, so I'm just like double checking that, but it sounds like we're going to run Forges. Oh, I got the Stinking Ward, so now I can have that Huandran, I think it is, the Spider Wing, got that quest. Yeah. They were talking about there's so many Moria instance quests, and I've done so many on this character. That's how he's leveled up. He's basically not done anything since like level 54 or whatever. And just leveled up through the instance quests. It's been crazy. Through the instances themselves and then the instance quests, I couldn't get the actual quest till 55. I think we are waiting for the second rune, or not second rune keeper, one of the rune keepers dropped out, but waiting for the rune keeper. Be careful of the powder, no more accidents. He keeps telling them that. I guess they have had some problems with orcs exploding the powder, I would guess. Left. You all could have gone, right? I don't know. I don't know why, but I always like to go left at places like that. I guess if you're going around a circle, that's like going the clockwise way. I think the hunter did actually end up going, right? Bringing some friends. This is easy after. Oops. Oh, easy after Scumfill though. Oh, I say that, but now my morale's going way low. Oopsies. Get bear forming. Missing all my cooldowns here. I don't know. I don't see any of the heals from the Runekeeper. They were doing a good job. I don't know if it's a little bit of lag. I think that the healer Runekeeper in our group sometimes has issues with lag. I don't know if that's the case right now. It could be any number of things, but that's possible. guess we're going left. I was waiting to see if somebody would go back right. Okay, that was pretty funny with the goblin. He was like running away and then I used my roar. And he's like carrying his, I don't know, bomb type thing. Probably that powder that they keep talking about. Just the explosive bomb that the sappers use. And then I use the roar, and he just like runs right back to me to use it. Hey Tempers Gaming, I'm glad to see that chat because I've been talking a little bit about this stream having issues with chat. Somebody was saying things earlier and I never replied because I didn't see it, but anyway. You said you're new to LOTRO and you're just wondering if there is anything in the LOTRO point store that you would recommend as must-haves for leveling your characters. Or your characters. So one thing that I really like is the journeyman riding. If you have like LOTRO points to just spend, it's one of the nicest things you can get if you play a lot of alts. I personally do play a lot of alts. I have a ton of different characters, so that's been one of the most valuable things I've ever gotten. So the journeyman riding thing, I think it costs like 2,900 points, something like that, 29.95. There's a lot going on here, so just make sure I'm getting everything. So many sappers here. Here, I can't use my AoE. But yeah, that one, if you like to play alts, because it gives you the riding trait on all your characters you make, so you don't have to like spend the 100 LOTRO points or do the quest or whatever to get that. So that takes care of that, but it also upgrades all your riding speed to 78% for the regular mount. So even if you get like a 38% speed mount, it'll upgrade it to 78%. So it's really nice because of that. And also, like in Moria, for example, this goat's supposed to be 38%. It's like the super base version you can get, and getting that up to 78% and not having to worry about it's really nice. So that's probably one of the better things I've ever gotten from the LOTRO store. But that might not be relevant to you if you don't play a bunch of alts. Otherwise, if it depends if you're like VIP and have the barter wallet, that's a good thing, because all these things would go in my inventory instead, I think. And also getting more inventory space, there's a lot of things you acquire in LOTRO. So that's just the nice type of stuff that I'd recommend if you have the LOTRO points to spend on it. Otherwise, getting like quest packs and expansions, I don't know how relevant that is for you, but things like that just to progress through the game. And it sounds like Skumfil said mounting speed packs are on sale at the moment, so that would be a good time to get it if you're interested in that. I don't remember this fight having as it come exploding down on you like that. Otherwise, in general, I don't spend my LOTRO points that much. I get like well, I bought one expansion with LOTRO points. The only one I bought is Minas Morgul, just because with my situation I could actually spend money on it if I wanted to get like one of the packs with it. But the things I spend my LOTRO points on are usually when things go on sale. I like Mithril coins, because with those you can get the third trait thing. I don't really know what to call that. Third trait configuration that you can use. So that one's nice, but I have to do it on every character and it's kind of annoying. So when Mithril coins are on sale, I like to get them when they're on a big sale at least. I also sometimes will get, is this actually worth considering because it has finesse? It shouldn't be. No, I don't think it is. Okay, so you do have the quest packs and the 99 LOTRO points expansions, and you're enjoying the game leveling at Captain. Yeah, the carry-all bags. I guess I have one on Arkenstone. I forgot about it one time. My hunter, that was the first character I logged in, but that is something that sounds nice. I just don't know how it's worked because I've never actually used that, and I actually completely forgot about that. Yeah, the barter wallet, that's definitely one thing. And if you have like the gold cap, removing the gold cap would be pretty useful. Things like that. These are the type of things that I am kind of familiar with, but because I pay a subscription, so I'm a VIP, I'm not too familiar, but at least I know somebody who is going through on a free-to-play account and sharing all that information with me. So the barter wallet and the gold cap removal, I think, are two things he's looking towards getting. And if you're only playing one character, I think, as I mentioned, the like journeyman riding trait thing wouldn't be probably the most useful. You might not get as much out of it as like I would if you're only playing one character. I think a lot of people play LOTRO that way anyway. They just basically go through the game experiencing the quests and all that, maybe even some group content, but only play one character, and I like to get my variety and play a bunch of different ones. And I really like group content. As you'll probably see on my channel, I stream a lot of group content on Anor here, and hopefully on the regular server on Arkenstone, if I can get around to doing some with my kin. I actually did one little group content thing with my kin on Arkenstone. Trying to think if there are any other quality of life things that would be good to get if you're premium and not a VIP like me. Yeah, my mind's just on the barter wallet, and that's the only thing I can think of. More inventory space, I think I already mentioned that, but I don't know if you've run into issues with inventory space. Redneck Adventures mentioned the large carry-all crafting bag. That could be nice, especially if you do some crafting. I think there's also some for task items, and I'm not sure what all there are carry-alls for, but crafting one could be good. I hear in my building, in my apartment, it sounds like somebody is like keeps on screaming. I'm guessing you all can't hear it on the mic. I can barely hear it with my headphones on. Actually, when I take my headphones off, I can't even hear it. Ooh, that time I did jump over him. So it sounds like we're going over this fight. This fight's super funky with the mechanics. It might be the best way for me to describe it. So these powder kegs, you take them, I think, to where the trolls come out of the gate type things. So I totally missed this orc. What's this quest? It says just defeat orcs. I think I have 6 more. I don't know what quest that is, if it's one of the repeatable ones, probably. That's targeting. Actually, I want to see what this bomber does. He was targeting our Fates Entwine. I just wanted to see what happened, but Did you say Torvina on that? I don't mind whichever. Alright. Oh, I just took them off. There we go. Should have aggro. One of them was deciding to run away for a minute, but I need to get aggro on these trolls. And that is my job for here. I thought it might be a little bit odd for the new Beorning, his DPS Beorning, to really get that. Yeah, the carry-all, the idea of it sounds nice, so I haven't, as I mentioned, actually used it, unfortunately, because I forgot I have one on Arkenstone, actually. It's on, like, my hunter, who I don't play that frequently. It's the one, I think they did, like, some thank you gift thing for server issues, or... no, that was actually a VIP thing. So they were giving all these things to free-to-play players. So they started giving more things to VIPs, I guess, to somewhat make up for it. And probably encourage more people to subscribe during that time. And I really don't need to fight these mobs. I just need to keep aggro on them. There's probably nobody else that would be damaging them where they take aggro. I'm actually on the opposite side of the room as the little goblin boss. They're actually taking damage now they healed up. But something like the crafting carry-all, so I have some characters that do crafting, and having 50 slots would be pretty crazy. This character doesn't craft, he just has a bunch of random mats I've accumulated doing Moria group content. But like on my Guardian, who's a metalsmith, or my Runekeeper that's a tailor or whatever, I just have so many mats I'd like to keep in my inventory. So something like that is definitely nice for, like, if you're interested in crafting, Tempers Gaming is something that could be nice if you're looking to spend LOTRO points. This fight's pretty easy for me. Again, I'm really don't need to be hitting these mobs that much. Their health just resets. I'm just mainly keeping them busy, keeping aggro. I don't think there are any... I don't know, maybe I have some class deeds left. Oh, Thick and Tide. I need to use my, not counter, but Thick and Tide's my cooldown, so I need to use that 28 more times. Oh. Uh-oh. I don't know if I have to do anything. They all got a little bit killed. I might have to take the goblin. I don't know if I can take the goblin and the troll at the same time. He's absorbing everything. I don't know entirely what's going on with this fight right now that everybody died. But I have the goblin. Oops, somehow untargeted him, I don't know. So these water pouches remove that fire debuff I had. I don't know what it was, if it was something that damaged. Got him interrupted and I'm good. So I think now we can take the trolls down is how this works. This is just such an odd boss because he does do that wipe. It happened to us a couple other times when we ran this, I think, one time previously. I've run the instance a few other times than that, but with this particular group, what was I going on about? Oh yeah, this boss is just like super weird, and he does that one-shot wipe thing, but I thought that was just like a full group wipe when he did it, so maybe it was something else this time that killed them. I was just busy keeping the trolls busy, so I wasn't entirely sure what happened. So he asked if crafting is a must for most characters or you can safely avoid it. I don't think it's a must. There are a lot of times where it's useful. Of course, like you can craft yourself gear, especially at lower levels. At higher levels, there are like specific gear pieces that they can be useful for, like Metalsmith would craft shields and some class items, that type of thing. But they'd also craft legendary weapons, which a lot of those you can just get somebody if you really want to crafty one, so that's not too big of a deal, definitely not a must. And I guess I could keep this here in case I get those fire debuffs. But one thing it used to not really be a must for, but would be very helpful to your performance, I guess your character power, was for crafting crafted relics for your legendary items. So the crafted one here, I don't know if you're familiar at all with the legendary item system, probably not too much if you're relatively new, but I don't think that's really a thing you need crafting for anymore. So as far as I know, also with Minas Morgul, one of the things they wanted to do was not make crafting feel required. And I'm not entirely sure what that, because I haven't gotten fully to the Minas Morgul crafting and like the dailies and the guild recipes and how all that works with gearing with crafting, but that's the latest update. But I hope that helps a little bit with crafting. Essentially, I don't think it's really required and you can avoid it if you want to. It's just definitely helpful. Guess we can go yellow there. Ooh, somebody interrupted that orc. It was not me. I was trying to switch my target real quick and use my interrupt. I was going very slow. Well, that would have been really bad if the troll got his stun on me. Like when you run through him, he usually stuns you. But if that actually affected me while I was in the air there, I would have fallen in this fire. So, okay, I think everybody's here and we can go. This boss is overall pretty easy. Just like stay out of the fire is the main thing, which I didn't do a great job of there. Oh, actually, I thought I had a fire debuff, but I think that's just dread. Can actually get a token for our group. Oops. That was looking for a hope token. Somebody let me know that the fire was coming. I fortunately don't take too much damage from that. I've got some of my mitigations up and this stuff is not like 5 levels above me like it was the first time we ran it, I think. There we go. So yeah, that boss was pretty easy overall. So this is an interesting one. I actually need finesse. So the block rating's not too exciting. It is of course helpful, but I just don't know over the tactical mitigation. The finesse would be good, so I'll probably replace the tracker's bracer with that. Oh, somebody else won that, unfortunately. Well, normally people just pass on everything. I don't know if I've actually seen more than one person roll on gear yet in our group here. Well, it looks like we just passed those trolls. So with this boss, he becomes immune to light and fire damage. But we don't have many people that deal just like fire and light damage, so it's okay. Sometimes they'll open up to it. But yeah, usually I think we run around the room. I don't know, some groups that I do this with, like pickup groups, pugs, we just like stay here and wait for him to come back. I think even with this group I've done that, but sometimes you have to run around and avoid the fire. I don't know if it's based on how long the fight takes. It seems to be kind of inconsistent, just my experiences with this boss fight. But usually it actually seems like staying here can be okay. It looks like, Annie, you have your fire oil. Fire oil up. It's like, that's always good until now. It's just unfortunate with the hunter because you usually want fire oil up. It helps you do better. Your arrows do fire damage. But then our hunter now can't do much damage, so the debuff here is like plus 100% fire mitigation, so the hunter can't do any damage. It's just unfortunate. I actually don't think we have to chase him. That's what I was just talking about. I think some groups do chase him, and I think it's fine to not chase him here. Again, at some point I thought fire started filling the room, or coming in all those things, and we had to rotate him around, but that could just be a later phase in the fight. He has a lot of health left. But for some reason I just feel like some groups I've gone with, we haven't had to do that at all. That's why I bring it up as like a big thing, I guess, to talk about. Is that, I see a gold cloak, is that, no, that's the 75 one. I thought somebody mentioned there was like a cloak with Helm's Deep that's like that you'd get as well. Actually, my Sting Bee Swarm does light damage, so it's probably not too good to use on him. The light damage on that I think was recently just like buffed in general. So like some of my old Beorning guides, I was like, Bee Swarm isn't that worth it with the damage. It of course is in the blue line just as a rotational filler. But yeah, I think the damage was buffed, but it's not going to do too much now. Looks like he has actually a minus fire and light mitigation when he's open to it, so he takes even increased damage from that. That's kind of neat. Now the hunter can do all the damage. He goes down so fast once Anakin hit him again. I'm really not too familiar with the hunter damage. I know my 112 hunter and Mordor, even with like the bad gear and bad legendary weapon, actually does surprisingly good damage. I know they were recently buffed along with the champion, who my champion also has started to do better damage compared to what they used to, like basically before my LOTRO break. So I'm guessing at this level, at least hunters do pretty good damage. My low level one, which is like 20 something, I mainly play the yellow line on him actually. But that's not really high enough level to get a good, relative to like my other characters, get a good comparison. But the yellow line does decent damage. I don't know at that level, again that's like 20 something, if that is... I'd really get a full feel for the gameplay, or for the actual damage it deals, but the yellow line actually deals a lot of damage at that level, mainly explosive decoy, that like when that explodes it can effectively one-shot enemies, I think. It just takes a long time to explode is the problem with relying on that, but Explosive Arrow does a decent amount of damage in the updated not sanguinate. What's that called? Lingering Wound? I don't know if that's what it's called, the yellow line bleed that hunters get. Or the bleed that yellow line hunters get, to be more exact with my words. I don't know if that does, or I don't even know what I was saying anymore. That does a decent amount of damage, but I don't know, like, for that level, how relatively strong it is. So this is when we run around the room. Actually, I should probably wait for the next circle, not try to just run through that one. So this is basically one backstep. So Redneck Adventures, you said you're no big fan of Warden. Do you suggest leveling in red or blue? You're not a big fan of yellow much, really. Yeah, yellow I've actually been recently experimenting on. I don't know if you've seen Louis, and I've mainly played yellow on him and the Menace Morgul content because it's been fun for me. For a long time, yellow wasn't even like halfway close to viable. It did very tiny damage. And even for landscape wasn't enough, even though some of the nice parts of it used to exist, like being ranged and all that. But the damage was just significantly better. But anyway, for red versus blue, if you feel like you need more defenses, I would go with blue, but in general, red should be okay. If you try to like solo some tough content, like if you're trying to do group quests on your own or something like that, blue can be useful. So yeah, it's pretty flexible. And of course you have like 2 trait configurations you can use. We can try to actually finish the boss here. I think he's open to the hunter's damage, which if we don't have to move with the fire can help everybody standing still dealing damage. Okay, might have to move some. I was hoping we'd get him down. He's absorbing a lot of even like my damage. Maybe it's the Beast Orb. I don't really know. Plus 50% healing through it. I don't think I've ever seen a debuff like that. So what I was going on about was you can change between the trait configurations. So like for 2 you could do blue line and 1 red line, just something like that, so you do have both available. But oops, I did not mean to roll on that javelin. I think I did, but oh well. Oh, it said cannot take. Yeah, I think that is a good pouch of the red one. That's a lot of physical mitigation. I don't need physical mitigation though. It's a nice tanking pocket item if you did need physical mitigation though. But yeah, I think that's a good strategy to just like run with red, but have the trait configuration set up for both red and blue. That sounds good to me. So it sounds like we might try to do turtle pretty quickly. It's a very quick fight, especially if we get some high levels to join, which this server only has people up to like level 95 now. But if we could get even some people in the kinship, I think we have a couple 95s on, 3 of them. And often pugs are pretty actually quick to fill. Let me just, I'm going to go back in here to make sure I don't have any quests to turn in. Okay, I don't. I thought I turned everything in, but needed to double check that. And then I have to go, I get my orientation, I guess I was going the correct way the whole time. Yeah, I don't think I keep clicking things. I don't know what I'm looking for, but what I'm going to do is sell and do all that stuff. Don't want those shoulder pads, and didn't get that pocket down. Oh, it sounds like somebody's bringing an on-level character, so that's okay. It's not going to help us with the kill speed too much, but it's okay. They can go on somebody on level, it's probably more fun for them. Oops. Accidentally typed that in fellowship chat instead of kin chat. Somebody said that they weren't sure what turtle was, which if you've never run it, wow, I think these are all the quests for the actual zone. That's what's going on. I just saw all these quests available. This character, as I mentioned, he hasn't quested since the low 50s. So, you know, just not used to seeing quests on him, I guess, I don't know. If Zend is here, I might switch to heal spec though, to be extra safe on that. Sounds like I get to do some Beorning healing. The last time I played this, I had 13 fewer trait points. Wow. Nature's Mend. Getting rank 4 on that would be pretty good if I can. One thing I want to do is actually get Hearten at least 1 point in that. That'd be really helpful. Crippling Roar. Probably want that. The snare can be okay if I have like a leftover train. 70. Okay. Overbearing, definitely want that. That's the in combat res, and that actually leaves me 2 trait points perfectly for that, but I should double check that I don't want anything back in the yellow line. Yep, I think that's perfect actually. So it's been a long time since I've done healing Beorning, but I'll get to that in a minute. Let's see, Redneck Adventures, you said that you've been watching me with the yellow line as well, and you're pretty new to Warden, so you're still learning all the gambits. Yeah, yellow line is a little bit complex, I would say. I'm not sure my skill bar is okay. Yeah, my skill bar is not fully set up here. If we have time, I'd like to try to get this set up. Oh, everything's messed up here with my skills where they are. So that's okay. These are my 2 reses. So I'll have these just over here out of the way for now. Got Wanderlust and that thing. Okay. But yeah, with the Warden, learning all the gambits, as I mentioned, the yellow line's complex, so getting all that settled would definitely be a good thing. So I think for, actually I want Hearten. So yellow line's a little bit weird here with my setup. I'm not entirely sure how to do it on this character, because I have like totally different keybinds than my old Beorning, especially the yellow line. So let me just make sure I have my heals somewhat here. Alright, I think that is set up decently. So I expect Zen to have aggro. He's the high level, of course. I need to get my friendly Mark of Grim Beorn on him. Alright, I'll roll with something like this. And then the enemy Nornuin, the turtle, I'll get that. And then I mainly want to be in bear form, actually. And I can just deal damage. That's one thing, definitely. So normally, I don't know if you all hear it. Let me see what all these debuffs do. So that debuffs damage. One of these I thought increased the incoming damage, but maybe that's something later on. Or maybe I was thinking of Piercing Roar. Yeah, I probably have to focus on the healing a little bit more, especially people in my actual group. One thing also, Relentless Maul heals. I actually like healing on the Beorning though. It's just, my group needs a tank and I also like tanking on it. The only thing with me is the DPS isn't quite as fun as it could be, but this is a little bit similar to Captain healing, except there's a lot more direct healing, I think, that you do on the Beorning. So like the Captain, you'd be using your damaging abilities, and those are most of your heals. Oops, I should probably, oh no. Get some heals up there. Oh, it looks like the turtle, his morale's going way down. Oops, accidentally interrupted that. I'm actually, yeah, rejuvenating bellow. I have everything set up right, but it's just so much different than my tanking setup. Nothing to heal, and then also I can do damage, so I want to do damage when I can. It's just like super weird, and I think even Bee Swarm gives a little bit. Yeah, minus physical mitigation debuff. But compared to like Runekeeper healing the whole time, I'm paying attention, like not even too much to my attunement, but I'm always targeting allies. This one I just have to mix it up a little bit and have to be able to quickly switch, like if I need to heal somebody there. Well, I'm not doing that great with building the Wrath. Compared to at least Blue Line, I guess Vicious Claws actually cost Wrath. I'm just building the Wrath is so much different than Blue Line. I think a lot of that I can even do a slash here. So it looks like getting a couple of heals would be good. Or not slash, but thrash. Slash is the man form version of thrash. So yeah, somehow this one's really funny because Relentless Maul applies a heal to the Fellowship. So you're just like mauling the air, and that through the Beorning magic heals your Fellowship. I think even anybody nearby, not necessarily in the Fellowship. Yeah, just anybody nearby in 15 meters. So that one's pretty funny. Oh, we got one death. Actually, I have my in combat res. Let me try that. Wow, I got it off once we were out of combat. So yeah, the turtle raids, it's actually kind of fun. It's just one turtle boss, but it's still fun to me. It's not like a giant multi-skill raid, but the Bright Emblem of Nimrodel, it actually is Bright, not Bright Token or whatever, but Bright Emblem of Nimrodel, that's the one. I think 6 of those you can trade in for the first stage LI, so 5 more runs of the turtle and we can do that, but... Oops, I did not want all those speckled shield fragments. I think other people receive the speckled shell fragments. I think there's also one in 21st Hall, right? But as far as this stream goes, I actually think we're probably done. Usually we run 2 things about 2 hours. That's normal time, so I'm guessing we'll be finishing up here. Didn't really mention that, probably should have. But yeah, this stream has been pretty fun. It started off with me slowly going over what I thought was like... So I have like more of the 3 peaks talk, because I talked about that a lot at the beginning and some of the ideas with the instances. In that it sounds like there might not be an instance cluster, but then I had the whole issue with chat where somebody said there will have a 6-man actually in the expansion. I was like, so far I thought there was just a raid and no instance cluster, and that was like a whole topic with that. But anyway, to my understanding, the 3 peaks are actually all within the Moria area of Misty Mountains, and the War of the 3 Peaks is the update. But I'm not sure the actual region that we'll be getting. We'll be getting a new zone, and to me it would make sense that we're going to like Elder Slade between Arid Mithrin and Wells of Lingflood for the lead up to Gundabad. But anyway, it's just a little summary of that again, I guess, because I do have this stream titled as like War of the 3 Peaks talk, and I'll have proper videos on all that. As I've mentioned, a more scattered thought throughout streams, get distracted by the instances. Scumfill itself I had to concentrate a lot on. Yeah, thanks. I have a quest to turn in here. But yeah, tomorrow I will have a video on War of the 3 Peaks. I'm thinking I'll actually take tomorrow. Okay, so Saturday morning is a day I was like planning on just generally starting to try to do morning streams there like consistently. But I think tomorrow I will actually spend working on videos and upload a War of the 3 Peaks video for the update. That's going to be update 28 for anybody unfamiliar. There hasn't been an official announcement, but there's kind of been Cordovan announced it in his stream. Oh, I still have one more level, but I have to get the level token stopper thing. XP disabler. I'm gonna go ahead and get that so I don't forget. There's the Beorning icon. So I'm going to use Stone of the Tortoise. So this item in particular, I'm the type of player, if I can get XP, I like to get XP. But we're specifically like running, I think I mentioned usually this apartment's quiet and I actually don't hear like basically anybody, which is odd. But there's a lot of like screaming and almost squealing sound going on right now. I don't know what that's all about. Sometimes I'm about ready to go to sleep at this time. I've been on a slightly later schedule the past couple of days. But it would be hard to sleep right now. I don't know if y'all can hear any of it, but as far as this stream goes, there's actually nothing else I have to do. I'm just walking around here talking, so I should actually get to wrapping this up. So yeah, War of the 3 Peaks, I'll have a proper video on that tomorrow. I'll probably stream again Sunday evening and maybe even have another video Sunday, or actually probably save it for Monday. As far as streaming Monday, I'm not entirely sure. We'll see how things are going then. But anyway, as far as this stream goes, I hope you all enjoyed going through the Moria instances as much as I do. I have a ton of fun in these instances, as you all can probably tell. They're some of my favorite in the game, and I enjoy playing with this group. But if you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing for more. And thanks for watching and joining this stream, everyone.